Right, good day. Hope you're all well. What we are going to do today is just have a discussion around the characters of this story. So Ronan is the main character, and he and Lira was sort of the romantic couple in the story. So let's just figure out what Ronan is and all of his alliances. So he's part of the Druid network, the Blue Tree network. Lira is his partner. They have developed a deep bond. Lira wears the Amulet of Druidess, and Jonty is her ally or her liaison. Scraa is a trusted ally or their partner when it comes to healing. So Ronan has got a friend, or it's actually Lira's father, King Alistair, and his father, Ronan's father, is Darion Stormrider, and his mother is Alera. Okay, so Ronan is also in alliance with Thra and Ironhammer, which is part of the Dwarves, and King Eeron, which is part of the Owls, and Paladin's Aldrich. He rides on a Windstrider, which is a dragon-like creature but extremely agile in the air. And they sort of have a mind-to-mind connection, so Jonty doesn't really, not Jonty, but Ronan doesn't really have to steer him. He can just think, and Aris will react on that. It also aligns with the Fire Drakes. They had an ancient pact through the Hard Fire bond, which I will explain later. Then he also speaks to the Warwolves and the Battle Bears. They are wild allies in the wild. So strengths is highly connected to the Blue Tree network. A powerful druid is capable of wild speak, so he communicates with animals or trees. He possesses the gift of healing, which he replenishes when he goes to the magical healing pool. And this is also the gift that he used to free his brother Loren, but that's in the future, so let's rather not go there. He's an intelligent strategist, set up for the Hagborn and the Thieves Guild. He's quick to act. He wields a staff, and he uses enchanted potions. Okay, so do we have any weaknesses for Ronan? None that we know of. Okay, so let's move on to Lira. Lira is a princess and warrior. Her father's King Alistair. So Ronan is her partner and ally. As I have mentioned, King Alistair is her father. She flies on Starwind, which is a Pegasus, and she normally is very involved in the Alliance and Alliance forces. She's got a fierce, unshakable loyalty and courage, she's a very capable warrior. She's skilled with a blade and strategy, wields magical bows and arrows. Okay, now the magical bow is one of those that shoot magical arrows. So basically she never runs out of arrows. So it's not a physical arrow, it's more like I can't really say a spiritual arrow, but an arrow created through magic. She carries the Amulet of Druidess, which links her to Ronan and the Blue Tree network, so the amulet will pulse blue when she is in danger, and also will warn Ronan that she is in danger. Okay, so when she visited the magical hot springs with Ronan, her stars, that her scars started to vanish. Okay. Her possible weaknesses: she is perceived as spoiled, headstrong, and she walked into a trap set by the Hagborn because she is so headstrong. Okay, Skyla is the ancient Druidess. Ronan and Jonty, trusted allies. Blue Tree Network, she's got deep connection of power with the network. She's also have two familiars, one is Shadow, the Black Cat, and Spunky, which is sort of his lieutenant, and comes up with weird things. Sometimes he sees weird things, but we do know that Spunky is, how can I say, the comic relief. But okay. Alright, so the alliance is of Lira, and she watches over them. So Skyla is the ancient, powerful druid. Actually, should be druidess. She is master shapeshifter. She can shape into elven form, so she will have the elven ears. She can also shape into the massive spider form, silver hawk or silver falcon form, and she wields unbreakable magical spider silk. These spider silk is used to trap Malus and Draxus. Strategic, she's very strategic and wise, and can track Morgora, dark network hubs, recruit and spies. So she possesses an ancient healing light. Her connection to the Blue Tree Network is causing her to blend with the natural world, raising concerns that she may be losing part of herself and taking unforeseen risks. Okay, we'll tell you more about that later. So Jonty is the storyteller. He is also a spy for King Alistair. So he's an informant, and normally he's in liaison with Ronan or Shadow or Darion, Stormrider. So Jonty sort of plays songs, but the tongues get loose when the alcohol gets consumed, so sometimes it's the best place to be. Jonty is a master of deception. He can hide in plain sight. He can sit and play his lute, and looks like he's very innocent, but he's very skilled at gathering information and planting false rumors. So once again, when you hear something, when you're under the influence, you're most probably gonna spread the word. Jonty is deeply loyal to the kingdom. He's got good instincts. He detected, so in other words, he can read people very fast. So Malus and Fachi. Okay, initially they lacked his usual bravado when faced with greater magics and needs protection from Kaldor and Venom. So Kaldor and Venom, part of the Thieves Guild, and they tried to kill Jonty. Okay, let's move on to Thrain Ironhammer. Thrain Ironhammer, or Lord Thrain, he is part of the Dwarfs of Hammerhold. He's the leader. He's in alliance with the Paladins, the Owls and the Druid. His wife is called Aldrich. He is a stout chap, broad-shouldered, with formidable strength. He wields the legendary warhammer called Stonebreaker. He commands the Dwarven siege engines. These are catapults and things like that. He's a resolute, loyal protector, pragmatic, unafraid to fight any dark sorcery. Okay, under immense stress due to the threat of the shadow blood breaking seals placed by his grandfather. Now these seals are actually underneath the hammerhold, and his father actually sacrificed his life to keep those seals intact, but it seems like the seals are now slowly decaying. Sir Aldrich Donshield is the leader of the Paladins of the Sacred Flames. He is also in alliance with the Alliance. He is a fearless leader of unwavering faith and strength. He uses the holy fire light magic, which cuts through darknesses and deflects curses. He inspires his allies in a very commanding presence. Again, no weaknesses that we know of, but that may change. Darion Stormrider, his wife is Alera. He's got 2 sons, Ronan and Lauren. He's also in ally with Jonty, and he has offered the farm for Jonty as a safe haven to get away from the Thieves Guild. Very valiant warrior. He used to be a soldier. He's a very determined and resolute leader. His connection to Lauren allowed him to foresee Morthak's alliance. Now Morthak is the necromancer. We'll go into Morthak a bit more later. I'll explain everything. Okay, now he has a cursed wound, or he had a cursed wound on his leg, actually inflicted by Draxus. Now Draxus was actually Lauren after Mulgara basically trapped him in Draxus's body. So in a strange way, his own son injured him. But Ronan and Scraa took care of this and managed to get Lauren out of the Draxus. Alera. Now Alera is a bit of a dark horse. Some say she has magical elven blood in her. We'll expand on that a bit later. So she's the wife of Darion Stormrider. Ronan are her sons, and then she's also offering Jonty sanctuary. Now she's a healer of uncommon skill, nurse of the wounded, very fierce devotion and strong spirit, very resolute and supportive strategist. Maybe just a little bit of background here. She actually met Darion on the battleground, and she was busy working on the on the wound that Draxus caused. She could not fully heal this Draxus wound until Lauren was freed. Well, black magic, dark magic. Okay, King Eeron, Silverleaf, or Eleran, Silverleaf, depends which region you speak from. King of the Elves, he's the leader, the commander. He's an alliance of King Alistair, master of magic and strategy, very wise and ancient wisdom. So the elven mages can fortify structures with protective runes and magic, very resolute, even after their homeland was burning. Weaknesses. He fell for Mulgara's distraction strategy, resulting in Alera, his city, burning. Okay, moving on to Maelys Whisper Arrant. Maelys used to be an assassin for the Thieves Guild. She's now an ally with Ronan. what happened with Malis was her brother was being held captive by Venom, and if Malis didn't do what Venom wanted, then poor little brother got the worst end. Okay, so she's a silent assassin, very agile and skilled with the poison dagger, and she actually told Ronan and King Alistair a lot about Kaldor and the setup, so we will have a trap for Kaldor and his cronies. Okay, her loyalty was exploited by Venom. Kaldor brother blackmailed Ilas. She tried to kill Jonty, but Jonty sort of knew about this before the time, and Scraa was there waiting for Malis. So once Malis was trapped in Scraala's web, there was no escape for her, and she explained everything about her little brother, and then she started joining, or she did join the alliance. Okay, Loren is Ronan's brother. Loren has always been a bit of a strange one. He wandered off into the swamp. He followed some weird lights. The weird lights turned out to be Morgara, enticing him into this swamp. Okay, so he's the brother of Ronan Scraa. Well, it's not Scraala's brother, but he's in alliance with Scraa. And his family is redeemed because he's now back with his family. Okay, so basically his soul or spirit survived the monstrous transformation, freedom from, and that caused Darion's healing on his leg. So he actually was in combat with his father, but he didn't really know about that. Okay, was transformed into a monstrous multi-limbed Draxus by Morgara's dark magic, and she forced him into servitude. Oops, bit much. Ilas, this is Malis' brother. So Ilas is now under the protection of Ronan, Darion and Alera. Okay, so Ilas has a gift with animals. He seems to be key. Sort of create, he can communicate. I'll get to the word eventually. He can communicate with animals. Sort of a wild speak, but not really there yet. Okay, so he's used as leverage against more for Venom and Kaldor to control Malis. Am I right? I might write well, but I cannot speak well. Okay, Commander Gar Stonefist. He is King Alistair's trusted soldier, castle defense leader, obviously part of the alliance for. Okay, so it's a battle-hardened warrior, unflinching courage, a sharp tactic mind, inspires soldiers, very capable fighter. So when the Hagborns attacked the castle, he did manage to save the castle, but only barely. Aldrich is Thrain's wife. She's a dwarf, highly dedicated caretaker of ancient journals and studying for Thrain. Thrain can be a bit impulsive. Okay, we don't know of any weaknesses for her. So, creature allies. Aris, which is a Windstrider, which is a dragon, and Ronan is his master or companion. Majestic, sleek, agile, fly-mount, fast and fierce. Okay, none that we know of. No weaknesses. Starwind Pegasus for Lira. Majestic vision of strength and beauty. Powerful, fast, emanates brilliant light. and that will repel the Hagborn shadows. No weaknesses once again. Shadow is the black cat. He's Scraa as familiar, so the black cat patrols the city at night, looking for anything out of place. Scraa is familiar, and he sort of kind of watches over Jonty. It's a massive black cat with glinting eyes, menacing growl, the fierce silent watchman. So he's the, I can't really say guy, he's the entity that distracted the gods and attracted Vashi. So here's a ginger lieutenant called Spunky. Spunky the ginger cat, which is our comic relief character. The fire drakes, okay, the fire drakes, they are sort of the guardians of the mountain pass. So the Druids and Ronan, they have an internal bond or pact with these fire drakes. So they are part of the Blue Tree network led by Kaldor, the eternal flame. Okay, their creatures are pure fire. They are immortal in their flame due to the heart fire bond. A breath capable of turning rock into molten lava or quelling flames. Strongest physical weakness are the mountain trolls, which are vulnerable only to fire. Can be destroyed if the balance of the world is disturbed or darkness grows too strong. Their flames would flicker and die. Warwolves and battle bears. These are the creatures that patrol Darion's farm. So Ronan can speak to them via wild speak. Wolves are stick deadly fast, strike with precision. Battle wolves are massive beasts, fur like storm clouds, strong. They can swipe trolls aside. And they are the silent guardians. They tend to disappear into the undergrowth. Vulnerable to powerful dark creatures like Draxus, but now that Draxus is no longer with us, well, we don't know. Draxus might return again in somebody else's form. We'll see. Adversaries, the forces of darkness. Okay, Kaldor Vane, Lord Kaldor, is part of the Thieves Guild. He's the secret leader, mastermind. His brother is Dorian Vale. Okay, yes, I do know there's two Dorians in this story. This is a different Dorian. So Dorian Vale is the enforcer of the Thieves Guild. So Venom is his half-sister. And Venom has also practiced poisoning. Okay, so they are a very wealthy, powerful family. They're intelligent, charismatic, master strategist. Unfortunately, he's part of the royal court, and he has deceived King Alistair into trusting him. So that gives him a funnel of privileged information, which is an unrivaled ability to navigate noble circles and the other world. Weaknesses: hidden ambitious greed for power and wealth, ability to remain undetected is his most dangerous quality. It's not actually a weakness. Okay, Venom, which is Kaldor Vane, or K Vane, Kaldor Vane, her half brother. So she's also a student of Morgara, who taught her the dark arts, and she can summon Morgara in spirit form, not physically. And she's also secretly allied with the necromancers, master of poisons. Some of them are, well, most of them are lethal, but they are undetectable. expert in deception and seduction, uses charm to gain trust, highly skilled assassin, very stealthy and quick with dagger, silent kills, controls the spy network. Weaknesses: can be cold and detached, harbors deep bitterness towards her status, furious, short-tempered, and underestimated. Okay, by Scraa and Jonty. Dorian Vale. Okay, so as I have noticed, this is the second Dorian. So, brother of Kaldor, and he's the enforcer and the blade of the Thieves Guild. He's a master assassin, swordsman skilled in stealth, poisons, traps, and relies on brutality and fear. Handles all Kaldor's dirty work and commands the mercenaries and spies. He's very cold, calculating, unforgiving personality, known for quick temper and lacks political ambition. So he's perfectly happy where he is. Malgora. Malgora is the leader of the Hagborn Witches. So she is in alliance with Morthak, Greythorn of the Necromancers, and Venom. Okay, so the bond between Malgora and Venom is a sort of secret. She's a very ancient witch trained in the dark magic of death, master manipulator, deception. So in the Battle of the Broken Oak, she used that as a distraction. Commands an army of horrors. So these are the Thralls, the Garfiends, the Shades, and the Wraiths. Can twist the land with wither ground, summon thorns, controls a dark network of spies. Now these spies are not just humans, these can be crows, so she also has influence on the birds. Driven by greed and ambition, power is vulnerable to her power source. So her power source is the heart of stone in the Broken Oak, part of the dark network hubs. If that is shattered or severed, she can be defeated by the light and life itself. Okay, Morthak Gravefawn, which is the necromancer. So Morthak is the necromancer leader in alliance with the witches, Malgora, Draxus, and he once tried to convince Draxus to join him. So he's the necromancer of the Darkspire Citadel, raises undead legions, graveborn constricts, wraiths, thralls, corpses, immortal as long as the hearthstone of the Darkspire remains intact. His soul is bound to that. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump over the camera. Bound to the hearthstone, shattering, banishes his soul to the void. Currently defeated, swallowed, and trapped by the spirit, trapped in the underworld. Okay, so the shadow blood. The shadow blood is the fluid which is starting to escape, penetrating the seals underneath Thrain's kingdom there. So it's got its own insidious dark forces. It's an ancient evil thought to be destroyed but merely slumbered. It's got an insidious influence, employs otherworldly black vipers as messengers. Contained beneath Hammerhold by 3 layers of seals, the critical inner ward secured by Lord Thrain's grandfather's soul. Vachi Foster. Vachi Foster is part of the Thieves Guild, but is also part of the inns, so the inns and bars, whatever. They also have a network. Kaldor paid him to spy and report on Jonty, because Kaldor was trying to get a bit concerned about Jonty. So he provides free lodging for Jonty and maintains the tavern as his Vachi Foster. Easily intimidated by Jonty and Shadow, so this guy hasn't got a very strong character. Okay, so the factions and groups. This is the last part, so no worry, I'm not going to keep you much longer. The Thieves Guild. So the Thieves Guild, Kaldor is a secret leader. Dorian Veil is the enforcer. Venom is the secret weapon. Infiltrated the highest levels of power in the kingdom, access to the privileged information, schedules, organizes coordination between the masterminds and assassins. Leader relies on betrayal and subterfuge, using Kaldor's position as the king's advisor. The Hagborn Witches. Okay, Morgara is your leader. Morthak and the Necromancers are part of this alliance. Wields dark magic. Drawn from decay, master manipulators, summon horrors, thralls, can twist the land, operate from their sunken keep, which is their seat of power, source of strength. Driven by greed and ambition, vulnerable if their dark pact to the sunken keep is broken. Rarely travel in numbers because they basically cannot tolerate each other. So the Necromancers, Mortak Greythorn is the leader and is in alliance with the Hagborn Witches. Mortak commands massive undead legions. Graveborn constructs wraiths and thralls and operates secretly from the Darkspire Citadel. He relies on the immortality provided by the Hearthstone of the Darkspire. And the last part is the Druids and the Bluetooth network. Alliances with forces, Alliance forces, nature, Ronan, Scraa and the Heartwood. The Bluetooth network enables instant traveling, tree walking, communication through any messages, senses the disturbance in nature, powerful source of magic and healing. This Bluetooth network, or did I say Bluetooth? Bluetooth network is fragile. The destruction of the way trees and ley lines and the fall of the Heartwood of Eldala would crumble the balance of nature. Okay, so I've now explained all of the characters to you and where all of them fit in and part of their alliances, because we were having a lot of, I was getting a lot of questions about where everybody fits in, because there's a lot of characters in the story and it can be a bit difficult to keep track of everybody. I'm going to leave this form here on YouTube. You can download it. I will connect it to my file server, which will make it easier for you to follow. Okay, great. Thank you.